Welcome to PCMC Pop Culture Man Children. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm here today with my good friend of yours, Mr. Anthony Bongiorno.
Hello, everyone.
Anthony, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I got to start today's episode off with a retraction and an apology.
Okay.
A couple episodes ago, me and Nadia Cater were talking about Megalopolis. And I said, hey, that Shia LaBeouf comes off looking like a nice guy.
Oh, boy.
You know, literally the day that episode dropped, he was arrested for homophobic violence.
I didn't realize. I thought it was racist violence.
No, I believe it's homophobic.
Oh, see, I just saw a clip of him getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
And I didn't follow up on that.
But also, I had not realized, I spoke out of turn, I had not realized that he's had a history of violence towards all sorts of people. So I just want to say that I retract saying that I think he's a cool dude. And he's obviously a very bad dude, and I apologize.
I'm so thankful that happened before we officially renamed this podcast the We Love Shia LaBeouf podcast.
We're the LaBeoufs. Now that that's out of the way, we're here to talk about Scream 7.
We did it.
We did it. Hey, if you're a Scream fan, welcome back. Me and Anthony, many, many moons ago, we did an episode for Halloween on Screams 1 to 4. And then we did 5 and 6.
Gosh, we've been doing this podcast since there was just 4 Screams.
You bet. And then 5 and 6 we saw, and then immediately came back and reacted to it. And here we are again. We just saw Scream 7.
Just now.
We had
didn't speak on the way out.
No, we had a few little quips during the movie, little ideas. We should say that this is an opening night. This is the Saturday. It came out on Thursday. Mm-hmm. So we did go into it with no spoilers, but we did go into it, one, knowing a ton about it just because the ad campaign gave away a lot.
Yeah.
Including
and also,
the opening kill.
Yeah. And knowing that it's pretty poorly reviewed.
Yeah, knowing that it's the lowest rated on Rotten Tomatoes, and some friends have told me they didn't like it, and there's that great Eye on Gizmodo headline.
Oh, wow. Scream 7's horrible.
Oh, no. It's, wow, Scream 7 sucks. So we went in that way. Well, there's much to say.
And still processing. I might feel differently in a week.
Absolutely. We rarely do this. In fact, we only do this for Scream.
Yeah.
Just reacting. React. I guess when a Ghostbusters movie comes out, I alone will talk about it. Yeah. But this is straight from the reaction. And if you don't know, me and Anthony have seen every Scream in the theater. 3 was the only one we didn't see together.
Correct.
The first one, you were like 10, and I was like 13.
I was 10, and you were 13, yes.
Yeah, and here we are. I'm 79. In one word, describe Scream 7.
Describe the movie or describe my feelings about the movie?
Your feelings, sir.
Fun.
I would also use that word, fun.
Yeah.
That's not the word that was in my mind, though. In my mind, the word was perfunctory.
Okay.
It's fun. It's you want to start positive and get negative? You want to go right for the bullseye?
I'm going to go right for my hot take. Like, my immediate feeling is I had a lot of fun.
Sure.
And in this moment, I don't think it's the worst of the 7 movies.
What do you think is the worst?
Still 3.
I'm going to disagree with you.
No, I think this is better than 3.
I think this is the worst for sure.
Really? But is it like that thing of like there's no such thing as bad pizza?
Yeah, yes, exactly. And I think some other critics said that.
There are no bad Scream movies, at least not yet.
Yeah, this is definitely the least of a series that I like them all. But this is... You know why? Okay. Had the ending been better to this, I might rank it above 3. Mm-hmm. But since the ending is so bad, it kind of brings the whole thing down. And I'll be honest with you, for the first time in Scream history, I don't think I could accurately tell you what the killer's motive was. I don't think I understand it.
Super muddled.
Very muddled.
Very muddled motive. First time ever there's been a third killer who dies in the first act.
Yeah, I like interesting different things.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Yeah, and I kind of know the what of the killers, like how they know each other, but I don't understand the why at all, or what they're accomplishing at all, or what if there's any meaning. Like, you know,
spoilers.
of course, guys, you saw that on the description. But every Scream movie typically has a something to say about culture or media culture or something. This one kind of has a weird little thread of the killer's a fan of Sidney herself, not the Scream movies, whatever the fuck that means.
It was really interesting to me that, yes, I agree with you. I think the reveal is muddled. It's her neighbor. Well, here's another thing that
actually, I immediately knew it was her.
Yeah, I knew it was her. But here's the thing I was going to say that I'm also really upset about is that for months, trolls on the internet have been like, it's Anna Camp. It's Anna Camp. It's her neighbor.
Oh, really?
And yes, and I saw that comment legitimately 5 months ago, the whole time I was like, they have to have fixed it if it got leaked, and it sounds like it just got leaked and they didn't care. They just kept the same ending.
Wow, see, I didn't know that.
So when I saw her, I was like, wow, it really was leaked that it was Anna Camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I remember somebody saying it's Anna Camp and her boyfriend. So it was half right, half wrong. But also, it's got to be. This is the thing about these Scream movies. It's got to be one of the new characters,
right?
They would never be so bold as to make it Gale. Even though I feel like this is the one that leaned the most into maybe it is Gale.
See, I didn't get that. I feel like they were trying to say something about Gale being very like wounded by everything she's been through.
Yeah, but about that moment when she's like, Tatum's the last friend I ever trusted.
Oh yeah.
That was I feel like for me that was a minute of like, oh, maybe it could be Gale.
Yeah, okay. I feel like every Scream movie needs that.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say though initially is that I think it's so interesting and weird to hear the killer say, "I was inspired by your book Out of Darkness," which is like a throwback to like Scream 4.
Right.
And then not seem to be a movie fan whatsoever.
So then why would you do this? Yeah.
And yet says you need to continue your legacy as the final girl and kept saying final girl, which is like, that's such a movie thing.
Right. No, the motive is just it's a hodgepodge of a bunch of different ideas that don't add up to making any sense.
So the only thread that I could like capture and try to hold on to is like, we're gonna make another series of killings and now your daughter's gonna be the new you. But so that your final girl legacy,
I don't know, it falls apart. Knew her, we had that in Melissa Barrera or Jenna Ortega. So,
but they're not related. See, the thing is, Melissa, of course, outside of the real world of like Melissa Barrera was fired, etc.
Right.
Within the film, Melissa Barrera is related to Billy.
Okay.
He's not like of Sydney. But this movie was all about, we're so sorry you weren't in Scream 6. Neve
yeah,
Campbell.
Well, that's the weird thing.
The whole movie was about that.
They keep talking about New York.
Yeah. I was surprised to hear how, and even at the end, she was like, I should have come to New York to Gale. Like,
yeah,
it was weird because in the world of the movie, Sydney's saying like, I should have been there.
Yeah.
But it feels like the movie's existence is saying like, we shouldn't have made a movie without her.
Yeah. It's almost like, Joel McHale's in this. It's almost like the Community.
A very humorless Joel McHale.
The gas leak season.
Yes.
When they were like, yeah, that whole season doesn't count. No, it was.
But that's the thing though. It's interesting because I thought it did an interesting job of being so tonally different than 6.
Mm-hmm.
But still being a direct sequel to 6. Like, it didn't ignore anything in 6.
No. I mean,
even though they
don't mention the Carpenter sisters at all.
No.
But the twins...
But the twins are there.
The Meek Martin twins and they're there more than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
I was... They were my favorite part. I was delighted to see them.
Me too.
And they're like with Gale now. Yeah. Gale had a great entrance in this movie.
Oh, great. I thought that was a... like... If I wish we were in a little bit more of a packed theater because that would have been like a stand up and clap moment.
It was one of the all time best Gale entrances.
She was great in this.
She runs. Oh, she's always great. She runs over
the third killer.
Yeah, the third killer, and
just like gets out of the car unbothered, and she's like, "Do we get him?"
Yeah, and they take the mask off, and it's some crazy guy we had seen earlier in Sydney's coffee shop, her little cafe. So I like that because I was different. Like
Yes.
I was and you know there have been all these rumors. We've all Scream fans have heard all these rumors about Kevin Williams' original idea for 3, his original idea for 4, and his all those. So it seemed like they were doing some of those ideas, and this was the look we've known since Scream 2 or whatever. Like there's usually 2 killers. The last movie had 3 killers.
This movie had 3 killers.
This movie also had 3 killers.
Yeah.
But this was the first movie where they would cross cut between one killer with one group of people, another killer with another.
Yes.
So almost like having no pretense of it's one person.
And also making it a plot point to be like, oh, we got one guy, there's always more.
That
one I thought was really smart.
Yeah. But why was who's the first guy?
The
they
first
just
guy was
made him kill somebody?
Yeah.
See, like
he was just a murderer. Who they were like, you want to kill some people?
But why? See, like one of the early ideas, supposedly, and this was Kevin Williamson, the creator of Scream, used this for his TV show The Following, was that Stu was going to actually be alive, right? And in this, he's not alive. It's just AI, but we can talk about how bad all that stuff is. But Stu was actually alive, and then like people worshipped him, and there was like a cult. So for a minute I was like, oh, they're gonna do the cult thing, and they actually have like 7 killers, and they're all just cult. They're just people that worship Stu, and it's like the original they half idea, do that and half don't.
Yeah, from that book that we read, the original idea was that even all the victims were going to be killers too, and then at the end it was just going to be like nobody's died.
Yes,
it's all been leading to this moment where they all turn on Sidney.
Yeah. It just feels like a lot of half ideas and old things just brought out.
I thought
go on.
So sorry, to start with the positive, I thought all the performances were really good.
Yeah.
I thought the Isabel May was really great as Sidney's daughter.
Yes, she was.
Neve Campbell was really good. I thought Courtney Cox was really good.
Yes.
I thought like there was some fun. There were some funny moments.
There was some fun.
That was fun. It kept feeling it gave me a little bit of like Halloween H2O vibes.
It had great fall vibes.
Yes.
A lot of crunchy leaves. It's a real, kind of a windy afternoon horror movie to put on.
Even the fact that she owns a coffee shop.
Very cozy.
But it's weird that it's the direct sequel to 6 because it feels like 6 was like, okay, now we're doing something really new. We're taking the franchise to new heights. And then it feels like such a return to such a small movie.
It does feel very small.
At one point when they were like, we're seeing the girls talking about like their school play.
Yeah.
I was like, what? How is this? This is so weird being like a direct sequel to the last one.
And like we're in high school
and
again.
it's like, it's like,
also,
it feels like Dawson's Creek. Like you said, he's a melodramatist.
Right. Well, right. Yeah. Like I said that I leaned into, I was like, one of the big differences between Kevin Williamson as a writer and the people who wrote the last 2
Radio
movies,
Silence, yeah.
They were different writers. But although one of them I think might have worked on this. But anyway, Kevin Williamson is a melodramatist. Even if you look at the very first Scream, it's like it's all about this mother-daughter drama. It's very soap opera.
Which the mother-daughter drama of it all I thought was an interesting connection to this.
Yes.
Like when she was like, she's going to watch her mother die just like you did.
Right.
That I like that.
But why?
But why? Yeah.
And why the AI thing? This is something.
There's too many ideas, but just like every Scream movie does this.
Well, we were talking a little bit before the movie started. I had just rewatched 6 this morning, and the thing with 6 was the killers were the family of Richie, the killer from Scream 5. But there was this weird thing where the killer, at every crime scene, the killer would leave the Ghostface mask, and it was counting down to Billy's mask. So it was a way to do fan service and reference all of the previous killers, but also like had this idea of like it's still trying to do this like legacy idea of like this is everything. Like the tagline for this movie was "Burn down the past." Yeah. But then both in that movie and in this movie, when you come to revealing who the killers are and what their motives are, it has nothing to do with the past. So why would they do that?
I would have, for a minute, I was like, okay, like Anna Camp is Stu's sister or something.
I kept thinking
for the fact that they went so hard with it being Stu to the point where like Gail and Sidney are like, maybe it is Stu.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is really like the major thrust of this movie narratively is that it could be Stu.
Right.
And for the killers to have no relationship to Stu.
Right. One.
And then at the end,
and even the guy made that up. Like he had like he made up a whole fake story that Stu is that. So, but why? Like I don't get it. What he wants at all. I kind of get her motive, although I don't. It's also, by the way, this is different. This is the first Scream movie where both killers are middle-aged adults. There's no young killer at all.
No. Yeah, she killed her own son.
Why?
He was too much like his father, she said.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I
mean, there's that Kevin Williamson, like, it's about trauma and generational trauma.
Yeah.
But what does it mean?
And is it capital P problematic to be like, if you survive an abusive marriage, you're going to become a serial killer?
Well, her motive was like, I was in an abusive relationship, and then I read your book, and the thing I got from your book was you killed the killer, and that's what I had to do. I had to kill my husband.
She's like, but then you... She's like, then you disappeared, and you left me abandoned. It's like, but you weren't in New York.
Right. 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 That's where it's like brings in
the
other
she
movies.
She was gone
like,
for one movie.
Yeah, but it's almost like this movie is like, he can't get over the sin of that.
But yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, what does that mean she disappeared?
Right, yeah, because Gail says something like that too. Like she's not in public life anymore.
Is this supposed to be many years later?
No,
I mean,
it's supposed.
I mean,
they say New York is like last year or 2 years ago or something.
But then the timeline doesn't make sense in terms of her having a teenage daughter. Then,
well, you never knew. You see her with a baby carriage in 5, but then in this there is a quick. Oh, we have little kids, but they're at grandma's house,
which is so. That was so cheesy.
It's as if somebody came there halfway through the movie. They're like, you know, they say kids plural in the other movies. Yeah. Like, let's just throw some other kids.
We don't even know the other kids' names.
Yeah, fine.
They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm still processing. To me, the movie's biggest sin is that stupid scene with the boyfriend's laptop.
Oh,
so so the boyfriend is a like computer geek.
Sure.
And Sydney doesn't trust him from the beginning, obviously, because like it was her boyfriend, right? That was the killer in the first one. Although even that's
getting a little long in the tooth. Like, because when Richie was the killer in 5, that seemed like oh wow, it was the boyfriend this time,
right?
Because after 1, it's almost never the boyfriend,
right. So the daughter Tatum trusts the boyfriend, even though Sydney doesn't. But then she like goes into his car and sees his laptop is open, not asleep, just open, and on, and opens up the laptop and she sees him creating an AI Stu, and it's him acting like Stu, and instead of testing it out and being like, this is a test, he's like, I'm gonna kill Sydney Prescott. So she's like, it's you. Which is,
and he's like, no, I was just testing to see if it was possible.
So dumb. Because then it's not him,
right? But there's a moment where she's like hiding behind something, and then he's there, and I'm like, and he's like, I'm here, and she's like, okay with him now, and he's like, it's not me, and she's like, I know, and it's like, what do you know? Like the killer was just behind you. He could have just took his robe off, and that's him. Yeah. That's another weird thing, and I don't think I've ever had this in a Scream movie. I kept waiting for more. Even after the 2 killers reveal themselves, I kept being like, there's some other beat. There's going to be a 4th killer. I kept waiting for some other puzzle piece that I didn't get.
Well, I also had the thought, and I feel like I said this in the last one, I don't think that there's any killer reveal that will be satisfying to me anymore.
Well, yes, we both said that.
I think as soon as they were revealed, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't think that we can ever recreate it. Well, I don't think we'll ever get back there. I really don't.
Well, there's 2 things.
I haven't felt genuinely like, since Jill in Scream 4.
I felt that way in 5. I really did not think Jack Quaid, I think, played such a funny, likable guy in 5. I really was surprised when he was the killer. Really? So, but Jill was probably the last like great killer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One of my all-time favorites. She's one of my
so good. I'm so happy killers. That Scream 4 is getting the praise it deserves.
The last couple of days, people have been ranking all their screams, and you're seeing 4 making like its way towards the top. Yeah. 4's really good. It's really fucking good.
Somebody on TikTok was like, it's so great that it's a reboot that killed all of the new characters and didn't allow any of them to make it to the next movie.
Well, all right, put a pin in that for a second.
Yeah.
We're all over the place. Going back to what you're saying about can a reveal be good? There's 2 prongs to it. There's the here's who it is, and then here's why it is.
Here's the motive, right?
Right. So the here's who it is, typically isn't that exciting, especially because when you're watching Scream movies, you're always playing like, who is it going to be?
Yeah.
But then the why, I think, is more important, because sometimes the why. I mean, the best example of this is probably 2 or 4, where the why was really good. Like, when you found out she was his mother in 2, like, whoa. And then in 4, when you find out it's because she wants to be famous and she was jealous of Sidney, and, like, you realize she's this, like, fame-obsessed person. The why in this, I don't get it. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it to you.
Yeah.
I don't. If you said what happened in that movie, I'd be like, well, these are the killers. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Or why they do what they do.
Yeah.
I do not understand.
Because we've lost the thread a long time ago of we're making a real life horror movie, which was the original idea.
Yeah, why are we still doing this?
Why are we killing friends?
Right.
Just go right to her then.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then, it's funny, whenever there's usually a scene early on where she's attacked, and I always think, like, are they holding back here? Like, if they killed her, would it be like, oh, we did it? Or would it, like, usually, because usually they have some big end plan, right?
Right. I will say, okay, so another positive. I think there were some real inventive kills in this one.
Oh, but too far. The beer tap kill was corny.
It felt like Scary Movie.
It was too much.
But the swinging,
that was good.
when he, especially when they like disembowel her while she's swinging, that was great.
Yeah, this movie was one of the most violent Scream movies.
I said to you before, and I'm really thinking, we keep hearing that this Nev Campbell wanted this to be less violent than the last few, and I feel like this was so violent, and I feel like that a misdirect?
I don't know if it's misdirect or they're just curmudgeonly.
They shoot her face off at the end.
Yeah, a face comes off.
And in the first kill, you see a knife go into a guy's head and his eyes explode as the knife's going through. Yeah. And they're really brutal.
This is maybe the most violent one. This 4 and 1 are the most violent.
Is it just because there's not... But there are guns. I was going to say, is it because he has like a machine gun in the 6th one?
I just feel like there's like weird camps now. I mean, like...
It almost feels like Scream 7 is like the millennials wrestling it out of the hands of Gen Z and being like, no, this is ours.
And for a lot of reasons, it reminds me... And we were talking the last 2 episodes of... If you're just following our Scream episodes, the last 2 Scream movies, we were talking about how you could really make a lot of analogies to the Star Wars sequels. And... it continues because this is the Rise of Skywalker. This is the let's walk back every interesting thing we did. Oh, not
nearly as disappointing though.
No, not nearly as disappointing.
But I totally get what you're saying. Yes, it's like no, we gotta go back to the old stuff.
Yeah, don't do anything new. And I gotta say, just so white. I know Celeste O'Connor's in it. She's a woman of color, and the twins are people of color. Yeah. But the last movie's in New York.
Yeah.
The stars are women of color.
Yeah.
Like this movie just felt so white. I don't know. It just felt... And then, look, I'm sorry they didn't give Nev Campbell the money they wanted. And by the way, I do wish they had continued the Melissa Barrera story. She had the audacity of saying, you shouldn't commit genocide against Palestinians. And Spyglass was like, no, you're
think
fired.
She'll be back? I mean...
No, they won't. But that's the weird thing. So that's the weird thing about the series now, right? Because it's not just a series that's going on a long time. It's a series that's painted itself into weird corners. You had 1, 2, 3, which exists as a trilogy. Right? People even refer to it as a trilogy. Whether you like 3 or not, it feels like a trilogy. Then 4's a reboot that doesn't get off the ground. Right? 4 was supposed to go into a whole different thing where Sidney was going to die, and then the killer from 4 was going to be the victim of 5. A whole different thing. That didn't happen. And then 5 reboots it again.
They always
and then
play
continues it in 6.
Yeah.
And then it was going to go more. They were going to continue the story of is she a killer or what's going on. And, and I've heard rumors about it being similar to the idea of what 5 was originally supposed to be, where like, so like somebody, I read today, I mean, I watched a video. One of the ideas for 7 was it was going to begin with Jenna Ortega again, like 5 does, but she's actually going to die this time. And then Melissa Barrera is going to be like, because she couldn't protect her, she becomes a killer. Like, basically, that's a trilogy that's unended. Now we're in this, and even though it's got bad reviews,
it's making a lot of money.
It's making a ton of money, so there's going to be an 8, but I don't know where you go from here at all. Especially because the last 2, or last 3, arguably, have all been like, the past. This is the end. This is really the end this time.
The ad campaign for this one is one last scream has been
Yeah.
the tagline.
And that feels like Rise of Skywalker too, because Rise of Skywalker, the whole ad campaign was like, this is the last Star Wars movie. You love Star Wars. This is the last one. We'll not get it. Let's not get the specifics about what the story is.
Yeah. Why did they burn down Stu Macher's house? Is that all just to make her think that it's Stu?
But why do we want people to think it's Stu?
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
know. And it's not that I don't get it. It's that the movie don't give it.
Yeah.
It's... Hey. It is fun, and it's got fun characters, and I think it looks good.
I mean, Mason Gooding is just beautiful,
and I love Mindy. I like that this is the third movie where she's the Randy.
Yeah, they're both so funny. I actually felt like this movie. I felt like in the inverse, a lot of Scream movies I feel like fall apart in the third act. I actually thought that, besides the reveal of the motive being a little disappointing, I actually think the first act of this movie was kind of like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah,
but then once Gail arrives and Act 2 starts, I was like, oh, it's really picked up and it feels like a Scream movie again.
Yeah, once Gail arrives, the movie, you're so happy to see her when she arrives.
Right.
You needed her to arrive because a lot of these new characters were duds.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, now are we going to follow Tatum? Is she going to be the?
I don't care.
Like it can't be Sydney again. Like it just cannot be.
I guess it has to be.
And also, I have a hard. I said to you, like, she's had 75 different careers. She's been a woman's Greek counselor.
Yeah.
She's been a best-selling author.
Yeah.
Now she's like hidden. She's also like come to this place where she's like, I'm gonna face my past and be brave. 12 times at this point.
Yeah,
and
I don't know what her arc is
again.
This. Like her arc is that she wasn't telling her daughter about her past, but now she will.
And also, this is the first one in a long time that feels like the Stab movies feel incidental to it. Like they keep mentioning the Stab movies, but they don't make a meal of it. And it's like the whole Stab franchise is based on her mother, but she's like, I don't know anything about my mom's life.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. And especially because like the first time the boyfriend comes in and he's quoting
Stab,
which is really quoting Scream.
Right.
So like it's people, she knows the movies based on her mother's life, but then there's things that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like she's like, why am I named after Tatum? Tatum's a victim.
Yeah. Although I really like the monologue at the end of like why I named you Tatum.
Right.
It was like because she was funny and fierce and strong, and she.
Do you think that was a?
You think that was a Rose McGowan?
Yeah, I was gonna say. You think that was like a Me Too?
Yeah, maybe.
Like a Me Too, like because she what she did with.
It would have been nice then to invite her to some of the.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna do the AI thing, why not go bigger? Why not have Rose McGowan in it? Why not have? There was no Jill. Well, we should say. I guess if you're listening to this, you saw the movie. But for like Janine, who's not going to see the movie but will listen to this is just for you, babe. There's a part at the end where all the TVs, I thought this was a cool sequence. She's in the house alone and all the TVs are on and it starts with AI of Stu and then it shifts to like different AIs of different characters. Laurie Metcalf pops up.
So happy to see her.
I was like, wow, this is a surprise. Roman, the killer from 3 pops up. And then Dewey pops up. But there's no Jill. There's no other character. I was curious about why they chose. I guess they only wanted to do killers, but Dewey wasn't a killer.
No. But they used Dewey to like guilt her or something. Like you weren't there for me, but she was there in 5.
If anything, it was Gail that wasn't there for him.
Yeah. No, it's weird that they used the killer for 3 and he calls her sis. He's like, hey, sis.
It's like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Your half brothers.
And they didn't have Skeet Ulrich, which I guess is fine because this movie's so Stu-centered. Even in the beginning, the kid who goes... by the way, they ruined the whole opening in the trailer.
Oh, yeah. The trailer... I feel like I would have liked this movie 15% more if there were no
I
trailers.
was surprised by that opening, that they go to the killer's house from the end
and it's an Airbnb.
And it's an Airbnb with like an animatronic ghost... That would have all been so interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But he even says like I'm more of a Stu head.
Yeah. Well, even the thing of like I thought was a great scene where she's talking her through how to shoot through the wall.
Yeah.
That would have been great if it wasn't in the first trailer, the whole sequence.
Yeah. Or when they are crawling through the wall.
Yeah. All of that was great.
It feels like they didn't have a lot It does feel small. Like, even the scenes at school, it's after school, so there's not a lot of kids. They refer to a party, but there isn't a party.
No.
They have one little hangout in a bar where they're all alone. It really feels like they had no money.
But they had a ton of money.
But they also wasted or used a lot of money rewriting a whole new script.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Boy.
Was she on board before Melissa Barrera got fired, or did they say, "Oh shit, we don't have a lead now. Let's go back to Nev"?
That's a good question. I'm not totally sure.
The timeline is interesting because it's also weird to be like, like Radio Silence, like these new young hip people, and then to be like, let's go back to Kevin Williamson and let him direct this one.
Well, it also
which feels like a lot like Nev Campbell being like, these are my terms.
Right. And he does an okayish job. He only directed one of the movie 1999's Teaching Mrs. Tingle. So he hasn't
swept the Oscars that year.
Yeah. He hasn't directed a movie in over 25 years.
I thought he did it. I thought it was fine.
Except for the glaring worst part of this movie, which is how all the AI stuff is staged, how the AI stuff is written, and I'm not going to blame Matthew Lillard, how Matthew Lillard is directed to behave.
He's super goofy and over the top. And he keeps being like, blah, blah, blah. You're going to cry about it? Yeah.
The tone on that stuff is all wrong.
Yeah.
It's all wrong. He should be
menacing.
First of all, there should be less of it.
Yeah.
There's way too much of it.
Yeah, and
he should be menacing and dark. And he's like,
he's fully lit with scars on his face, which I guess is cool.
Yeah.
But then is like, he's super like goofy.
He's and he's like making references like, it's like you're not at a fucking signing at a horror con. Like,
that's not he felt really happy, too happy to be there. It was coming. It was glaring.
I know.
It was coming through the screen.
But
no, and by him I mean Matthew Lillard felt too happy to be there.
No, I know. but Williamson should have, in the writing and the directing, should have been like, no. Like, why are you playing it? It's too funny.
It's got to be scary.
Stop playing it funny. It's got to be menacing.
Yeah.
It should be in broad daylight. First of all, I mean, it literally looks like what it is, which is like someone standing in front of a blue screen.
Yeah.
It like even at the end with Laurie Metcalf, that all looked so corny. That all looked so cheap. It all looked so bad.
Yeah.
That stuff was off the tone. And also when the killers reveal themselves, that tone was all off. Because like they were playing her like she's some Karen and she's fighting with the other killer. And it's like, it's good when the killers fight.
It was my idea. No, it wasn't. It was your...
Like, no, this is not the time for comedy. The comedy doesn't go in this part.
Yeah.
The comedy goes in a different part.
And it also felt like super stupid that they were like, they bring out Joel McHale's body for no reason.
Yeah.
Just so that he can untie Tatum while he's laying there next to her feet.
Yeah.
That felt... Yeah. Although I do think that Anna Camp gave a pretty good crazy person performance. When she first was like, "Hey neighbor, how you holding up?" I was like, "All right, that was pretty good."
She's good.
If it wasn't just so predictable.
The other killer is Ethan Embry,
who's aged 80 years.
Yeah.
Did they make him look like that?
I have no idea. But he's going to be the killer because he's not that he's a big star, but he's too big a name for the small role that he's in. So you're like, this guy's got to be a killer.
And that Fox, absolute Fox, Mark Consuelo, they give him nothing to do.
Who was he?
Mark Consuelo's he's Kelly Ripa's husband. He was the like competing journalist.
Right.
He's in like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
But he's on the poster. Like he's a big name.
He has a lot of comedy, I guess, in it.
Yeah, but I was
Gail's in it less than Gail's weirdly in it less than you think she would be.
This is the one I think that has Sydney in it like the most for
right, which was something Kevin Williamson had said. Like, I really want it to be about Sydney again, but I don't feel like Sydney has grown in any way.
No,
since the last couple ones.
It feels like she's regressed. Actually, she's back to like hiding away like she was in 3.
Yeah, and also like what I liked about her small role in 5 was that she seemed like such a cool customer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way she doesn't really like suffer the fool. She doesn't play Richie's game. She hangs up on the killer.
Yeah.
Like she seems like, I remember being like, she doesn't play into their narrative at all. She's like, you're just an idiot in a mask. But in this, she seems so menaced and scared. I'm like,
well, I think they tried to address that because there is one line when the daughter's like, "I thought you were a fighter and you're a badass," and she was like, "Not when it comes to you." So I think it's supposed to be like because her daughter's being menaced, she's back to being like really, really scared because she has something to lose.
I guess.
But no, I do agree. Like even The one little slice of that was when she's in the house at the end and Anna Camp is like, Sydney, and she's like, give me a break.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Like we needed more of that. Of like, and is it 5? When she's on the phone with the killer, she's like, I'm bored, and she hangs up the phone on him.
Yeah.
Like that stuff was great.
Yeah.
And her and Gail both were like, all right, we're doing this again. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Whereas this is like, yeah. I don't see.
I don't know where we go from here, but I'm sure we're going
when
somewhere.
when you lost Melissa Barrera, who we liked and we cared about, and then you lose Jenna Ortega because she initially people thought it was because she was backing up Melissa Barrera,
But her story is that she
it's-
didn't want to be in it.
she's just like, I'm not a second banana anymore. I think.
Yeah.
Do you know who the fuck I am?
I'm America's sweetheart.
I'm America's sweetheart. Look how symmetrical my face is.
But you never know.
I think the
Kirby came back for.
Why couldn't Kirby be in this? Like, I think the better thing to have done is to not Rise of Skywalker it and go all the way back and said, okay, then Mason Gooding and his sister, you're the stars.
Uh-huh.
And we're still like, this is still a sequel to 5, but we won't have the other girls in it.
Yeah.
Sydney could still be in it in a smaller role,
Yeah.
and Gail, but we'll continue it. Whereas, like,
Yeah.
it just feels like they're visiting from another movie. They're like, hey guys, remember us from
It
the
felt-
other movie?
I had that thought. I was like, this feels like a crossover,
Yeah, we're like,
even though it's the
we're
same
interns.
franchise. Yeah.
I was in a relationship with Jenna Ortega at the end of the last
Yeah.
movie, but I'm not going to mention that now.
Yeah. The fact that they don't mention their names is weird.
Yes, it is weird.
Like, at no point is Sydney like, how's Tara? And you like,
You
even,
think she'd ask?
right?
Yeah.
Because even in Scream 6, which Sydney isn't in, they mention Sydney.
Yeah.
Like, remember when Gail is like, tell Sydney I didn't give up
Yeah.
when she thinks she's gonna die?
Well, she should have died in that. I watched that again today, this morning, and I was like, this was the perfect
6
death for
is the most
Gail.
egregious of like people get the shit stabbed out of them and survive.
Yes. No, that's true. Yeah, 6 is the most egregious.
Like
of
Mason Gooding was stabbed a bajillion times.
that. And according to that book we read, what's the name of that book?
It's your favorite scary movie.
They cut more out.
Yeah.
There was more stabbing, and they were like, we got to cut some of this
Yeah,
out.
'cause
But it still feels like too much.
Yeah.
So why? Okay, let me ask you this: why is this better than 3?
Because I still think that this like had some scary moments.
Mm-hmm.
Where to me 3, and I rewatched 3 recently.
Yeah.
3 just is so goofy.
But can I remind you that Parker Posey's in 3?
And she's great as a over the top comedic character.
Yes.
This feels like the tone feels right for Scream. You know, like some of the kills are good. It
Yeah.
feels a little bit scary. I saw a lot of people complaining about the lighting in this one. I don't know. That feels overblown to me. It didn't feel like it was so dark I couldn't see.
It
just felt small.
It's contemporary. I feel like that's the way scary movies look right now.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good shot that I could give an homage to Halloween, where they're in the house in the beginning, and out of the darkness you see the Ghostface mask
Yeah.
appear a little bit and then pull back, which is right out of Halloween. I like that. I always say when a film isn't afraid to use darkness, I'm always impressed.
I think
It looked good. It looked good.
I thought it was a more fun thrill ride more than 3. I would still put it above 3. But, you know, maybe with time I'll change my mind. I'll also say that I think that like this series in general, and this one really is just like the proof is in the pudding. Like this one is like really falls victim to this. The meta aspect is still alive, and yet it's so self-referential. Like this movie makes no reference to any other horror movies but Stab.
Yes, right? Yeah.
So it's hard to connect.
Well,
The
there
thing
is
about the original Scream movies was it was easy to connect with the characters because they were talking about real movies.
Yes.
Now they're talking about Stab movies, which are fake. They're the Scream movies. So it's like the scary movie thing is gone.
Yeah.
Like anyone in these movies who's a horror fan is like, and Stab. I love Stab. Stab's the best. And it's like, but you're up your own ass. Like mention Nightmare on Elm Street. Mention Halloween. Like,
well, they in the beginning of this, when they're at the bed and breakfast, they do get like a weird like Ghostface call, and they give him a little quiz.
Yeah, yes.
And they ask some things about some classic movies. But I agree with you.
but not as funny. Even
It doesn't feel grounded in the real
No,
world
it
the way the
doesn't.
original Scream did. That's what made it so interesting. Like, oh, they're people in a horror movie that know what horror movies are. Whereas now they live in a world where the biggest horror franchise is the Stab movies, and
Which is
also
based-
they keep making them, because in the beginning, right, like when they're in Stu's house, he's mentioning like, oh, this is where Billy was, but he also mentions the killers from 5.
Yeah, it's like this
So
weird...
like they made a Stab about that one too.
Yes, it's like this weird world where like the most popular slasher franchise is based on real killings that keep happening every few years, which just seems so unbelievable.
It also,
And then it's also like in this movie, I feel like this was Kevin Williamson making a choice to, if you notice, Lucas, Anna Camp's son, like he kept saying like true crime.
yeah,
Like it seems like they're trying to pivot this to be like, oh, Sydney is this icon of true crime.
oh, you know what? And that ties into the killer too.
Right. Where it's not about the movies, it's about like, and I guess that's because true crime is so big right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just teased that out for me. It was not. I didn't get that before because it's
And
not
even in the beginning, they're listening to a
meaningful.
podcast, which sounds like a true crime podcast.
right. It's a podcast about is Stu really alive?
Right.
That's not enough. It's not. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's not. None of this shit's developed enough.
No. It always feels like they have good ideas and then they take the safe route.
Right. Well, that's the problem with these Scream movies, right? Is they're super formulaic. You know, like you know
You
what to
spend
expect
the whole
for
time
them.
being like, who's the killer? Who's the killer? Who's the killer?
Yeah, and I find myself, and I like them all, but I find myself from like 4 on. There's like a part halfway through where I'm like, let's get to it.
Yeah.
I want that part now.
Right.
I saw some interesting kills.
Yeah.
We're running around.
Right.
Give me the end.
Because there's
Because it's the big prestige. It's the big end. You know what I mean?
Or even something small. Like, can there be one Scream movie where the killer doesn't die at the end? And they're like, oh, they got away.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
it's so formulaic. It's like, okay, let's get to the part where the killers are unmasked and then they're killed.
Right.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
I there's no real tension then.
Well, like I said this about the last movie, like this is a franchise that is just up its own ass. It's just a snake eating its own tail, and it's just you can't even. It's just like you can't even see daylight anymore. It's so up its own ass, and that's why I really like. They will make more,
Yeah,
but I really don't know
I did appreciate
what you got, what you do. Like really, what do you do?
I don't know. I did appreciate, and I think this was Kevin Williamson's humor. Like some of the jokes, like the meta jokes, but meta about Scream, like being like, "Of course, Stu's dead. Like that's dumb." Like when they were like, "No, like that would have been dumb." Or when Mindy
says it would be a huge
it would be the
retcon
hugest retcon of all time
if he were alive.
Yeah. Or then when she's like, "But then again, like Billy had a secret love child, so."
Right.
Which is kind of like a dig almost at the other
Right,
ones.
right,
Or it's
right.
like, oh, what the hell do we know?
Right. Yeah, that's a weird thing.
Where it's like, wait, at least winking at like this is getting stupid.
But yeah, but so since it's not Stu, which none of us ever really thought it was going to be Stu.
No,
I
not
don't think.
1 second
Right.
of this movie did I think maybe it is Stu.
Right. But
Even when
now
he was
that you pulled that trigger, like I don't know, there's no further back we can go. There's no let's go back to the past. There's no more going back to the past. The past is well mined. We've done it all through these last couple of you can't just keep making legacy sequels or requels or whatever they want to call it in these films.
maybe 8 will be Tatum off at college and it'll just be like a new, and then it'll be like
It'll be the cousins of the killers
Yeah.
in this movie.
yeah. Gosh, Sidney's family's fucked up.
Yeah.
I also think it was, weak to have Mark survive.
Yeah.
Like he could have died.
Yeah. Although I'm kind of glad he didn't, just because that was also in the fucking trailer. And it's like, wow, did you just show me a main character die in the trailer?
Yeah. Also, okay, that's the other part where I whispered to you at one point, like, "Oh, this is another Mark who's also a cop."
He's not the Mark Cop from Scream 3.
Why did they do that? Then why make him a cop?
Maybe,
Why make it like it's weird enough that they have the same
didn't want to
name.
do it.
Fine, so then just recast it. Just be like, this is Joel McHale playing Mark Kincaid.
I guess.
Why? I don't get why. But I guess he's got to have like an aw shucks, I don't know anything about this kind of quality.
I guess.
Where Mark Kincaid was part of 3.
Yeah.
But it's so clearly a retcon. Like in When they say how's Mark
Yeah.
in the other movies, like that's clearly supposed to be Mark Kincaid.
Right.
They're just so lucky that at no point did they say Sidney Kincaid in any of the other movies.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did you notice that Luke was wearing her dad's jacket at one point?
No.
Not the jacket, but like an homage to it. Luke was wearing a denim jacket with the white collar
Oh, okay.
that the father. A
That's
lot of
the-
denim jacket
was-
work in the original
Was that
Scream.
the boyfriend?
No, that's Anna Camp's son.
Oh, right. And he was the one.
He's the big red herring of this one.
Yeah. At first, I thought he was gonna be the Randy, but then Mindy is there to be the
Yeah,
Randy.
I like it. She's like, my money's on weird kid,
Yeah.
creepy kid. That was
Well, that's funny because that's the shtick she did in the last movie.
Yeah.
When she was like, she kept calling that kid Ghostface.
yeah. Oh, it's so good. She's so good. What about even in 5 when she's like, I mean, Ghostface is here. Like it could be you.
Yeah.
Like she's like making out with the.
Yeah.
Did feel a little. This is gonna sound weird, but you mentioned like the whiteness of this one. This one feels like it's taking a little bit of a step to the right. Like it feels a little bit more conservative.
How so?
The fact that they don't ever mention the fact that Mindy's queer in this one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But would Kevin Williamson do that? He's such an out
Yeah,
guy.
I guess it just felt a little. I don't know.
But they're like the Wonder Twins in this. Like they feel
They're
less
so
like
good. They're the
characters.
But also like the fact that like they were in high school in the 2022 Scream, which is only like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And they are like legitimately 45 years
Right,
old. Like
right.
in the scene where they're with the other teenagers, it's like, oh, these are their kids.
Yeah.
They do not feel close in age at all. But
you
they're
know-
so good. And I love when he was like, I really don't feel like getting stabbed tonight.
Yeah.
And then
Which is a funny
he gets stabbed once, like, which is kind of a fun like joke.
because he got stabbed way too many times in the last movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they lived.
I did like seeing Gail's nerve damage.
Yeah.
And like her shakiness. Although for a minute I was like, are they saying she's like a drug addict?
Yeah, I did because
Or
she
an
would take some
alcoholic?
pills.
She takes some pills, she shakes.
Yeah. I guess you had to have some kind of like conflict, or some kind of like something happened from her near-death experience in the last one. But that's what happened with even in like part 2. Dewey has like nerve damage is the only
Yeah.
thing they'll let you have.
yeah.
That's
Well,
what
it's
happens
also-
when you get stabbed.
I had the thought during it that like it's gone on for so long and so much of it is so sort of like incestuous that like some threads are even like weird. Like when she's interviewing Sydney and she's like, and you named your daughter Tatum. And it's like, that's your ex-husband's sister.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's somebody close to you too.
Right.
It's weird that you're acting like it's not.
Right.
Like they kind of like conveniently ignore things sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. No, you're right.
Like she spent over 10 years married to him.
Right. Yeah. That's true. And they never mentioned Jill. Like, forget Billy's family. Like,
Your cousin tried to kill
Your
you.
cousin
Your
tried to
brother
kill
tried
you.
to kill you.
right? Yeah, the girl in this movie, Tatum, your second cousin or whatever,
Right.
tried to kill.
Right.
Right. So there's killers in our families too.
Right.
But see, that's another thing that Scream started in the 90s, the mid 90s, which was a time where people were being very hard on violence in the media.
Well, the whole-
and wearing the media was making us very, very cynical. And I feel like we're not in that perspective anymore. The idea that, you know, people are going to go crazy because of violent media.
Totally. Okay, so I had this thought driving here. We're in such a different time where in the original Scream movie, the kids are all like the disaffected youth, like making fun of the fact that there's
Yes,
a killer.
yeah.
And they're like, let's go see the principal's body.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
when they're like, oh, live her alone, making fun of Casey Becker being killed.
Yeah.
But then in this one, she's like, Mom, my best friend died.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, now we're in a time where like, it's just not, we don't have that view of the youth anymore. And
Yeah.
like they are very conscious of trauma and
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
So like that's, I don't want to say I miss it, but it's just times have changed.
Right.
Even I feel like the last time we saw that was in 4.
Times have changed, but it also shows that the DNA of this series
Is super 90s.
doesn't fit almost anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is, but I feel like
nobody
I'll know
has-
it when I see it, if it ever is given to me. But there's something that's just not being said or done with these movies that when it happens, you'd be like, oh, that's refreshing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know exactly what I mean. But
I think
like,
the last time I was genuinely, so I said the last time I was genuinely like satisfied by a killer reveal was 4, Jill.
Yeah.
And I think the last time a kill really felt devastating to me was Dewey in 5.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, he's really dead.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And so to get there, like, do you have to kill Gale or Sydney?
I guess so. Again, bringing back to Star Wars, you can't move forward and backwards at the same time. But that's the problem that these series are in. Like, you can't, like, you have to move forward, not just chronologically, but like some sort of logical leap forward. But you also can't, because it won't move so forward that the whole thing doesn't make sense.
But
you still have to keep this very specific conceit that people are going to dress up like a ghost face and murder people like a movie.
Yeah, well, I think that even though there was it's funny, like, even though there's that big set piece at the end of 6 that is such a nostalgia grab, and the masks that he leaves behind and all of that, besides all of that, 6 feels like was moving forward.
Yes, I agree.
Where it was like, okay, now we're following them.
Yeah.
Now this is a new story. This is a new...
Right. It felt good to not have Sydney in 6.
This feels like, ooh, we're going right back.
Yeah, and Gale even says in 6, like, she should have her happy ending, which was the way that they wrote her out of it. Yeah, why not? It's not about her anymore.
Yeah. What did you think of the logo of this one being like the original logo and then switching to that was kind of meta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Switching to the logo no.
Yeah.
This one so badly
too,
is like we are just like this is the first one. Return to the first one. Return to the first one.
But
it also doesn't feel a lot like the first one.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't feel like the first one. It doesn't even feel like there's a lot of kids in it. Like it's like she's got her friends,
and they all like look alike, and then they're dead before you.
Yeah. I feel like the boyfriend's a nothing character.
For a minute there, it looked like they were trying to make it seem like it could be the drama teacher, which was stupid.
Yeah.
The whole thing of like you're not giving a good performance as a mascot dog was really dumb.
Yeah. Was that supposed to be funny?
Yeah, he was like, "You're Sidney Prescott's daughter." I was like, I don't know what this is. Is this supposed to be funny or dramatic?
Yeah, I don't know. The tone was a little all over the place.
I wonder if...
They couldn't get a good grip on the tone.
If Wes Craven were alive.
Yeah.
Do you think... I don't know. You think he would have done a better job with this? I mean, at this point, he'd be super old.
With this specific script, he could have done better.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that's interesting about the last two. All right, to make yet another analogy, Creed came out, and that was about Apollo Creed's son, and it was a spin-off of Rocky, directed by a new writer, Ryan Coogler, right?
Yeah.
Who did Sinners. And it wasn't just a new vision. It was like, I'm somebody who grew up I'm a fan of the original, and now I'm making a new extension of it. And then Creed 2 comes out, and Sylvester Stallone is overly involved in it.
Yeah.
And he brings back, like, Ivan Drago. And it felt like, if you ever saw Creed 2, it feels like a step back from a next generation of fans making it back to the original creators.
I mean, Radio Silence was like, we grew up on screen.
Yeah, and so that's what this is. Yeah. This is, all of a sudden, now it's written and directed by Kevin Williamson, who hasn't been this involved in a Scream movie since 4, maybe?
4? Even 4, he got kind of railroaded out.
Right,
remember?
Right.
It's really 2.
Yeah. So from, like, fans of it that had a fan perspective. Again, what I love about 5 and 6 is the kids aren't just media savvy. They know Scream movies. They're constantly playing the game of they're constantly questioning each other and saying, are you Ghostface? You Ghostface?
Yeah.
What's your alibi? Like,
yeah,
they're in the movie like the way we watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not true for these young characters. These young characters are just,
they're like, oh yeah, your
just
mom,
milquetoast kids.
Your mom lived through some stuff. Oh, I was going to say this before. I feel like the movie wants to have it both ways in how popular the Stab movies are and how famous Sydney is.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if she were that famous, she wouldn't be able to just like live a little life unless she like changed her name and did the Halloween H2O thing. Right. So she's like living this little life in this little town where she runs a coffee shop, and yet like, aren't you famous?
Yeah.
And then Gail is like gonna get her interview, but it's on like this local news.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gail like had a show on like NBC in New
Right.
York. Like,
Right.
it feels like it's trying to have it both ways.
Yes. Yes. No, you're totally right.
I got the sense in 4
Yeah.
that like Sydney was like famous.
Yes. Yeah, because she wrote that book. And she's on a book tour.
Yeah.
That's why she goes to Woodsboro in 4.
Yes.
You also going back. I wanted to get back to this. Going back to there not being any real, not just real motive, but like real like thing that this movie's trying to say. We have a rules scene from Mindy, but it's all very vague because, like, you don't even know like what it like. You know, the first one is like, this is the rules of a horror movie. And then part 2 is, these are the rules of a sequel.
Right.
And then these are the rules of a trilogy. And then these are the rules of, I forget what 4 does. 5 is, these are the rules of a Lego sequel.
Right.
And then 6, which is kind of weak, is like, these are the rules of a franchise.
Right.
This one, like, she's the one who says, like, she's not a fan of Stab, she's a fan of Sydney, and she's like making rules, but like none of it's really. She's speaking without saying anything. Yeah, it's like we needed a rules scene,
and it
but
was
this
funny.
movie doesn't know what it is, so it doesn't know what rules it could give.
It was funny when Chad was like, Mindy, we're not doing that.
We're not. We're talking about doing the rules thing, and then she like gets back up and she's like,
but here's, and you're right. I don't know what she was getting at. I don't know what the rules were.
They were just giving her a lot of it. That scene and the scene where the killers are describing their motive. A lot of it feels like filler that you'll rewrite later. Like a lot of it's like,
we'll get back to this. We'll clarify this.
It's mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Like, how the two killers even know each other?
They were all on the psych ward.
So, but if she idolizes Sydney, then why is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then does he actually work there, or was he pretending to work there?
He must work there. Oh, maybe he's just an inmate there.
Who was pretending to work there when they went?
I don't know. What the fuck?
The bringing back Stu was my idea. No, it was my idea. It's like, but why did any of you?
Why would any of you want to do that? What's the point of that? Do you know that this is Scream 7?
They kept trying to make it like the only way to get her out of hiding was by making her think it's Stu, which doesn't make sense.
Because the way to get her out of hiding is to attack
target her daughter. Yeah,
but also she doesn't seem concerned about her other children that are like with Joel McHale's
There's
mother.
like one throwaway line where he's like, "Call the kids, they're fine."
Yeah, no, there's no one there to murder them. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But all of that said.
I mean, we picked these movies. I'm sure we picked Part 6.
Yeah,
like crazy
I
too.
think you could watch this movie. If you're in a Scream mood.
None of these are bad.
Yeah, you could watch this and be like, hey, I see some slashes.
It's
I
fun.
see some laughs.
Yeah.
There's pretty people in it.
Yeah, it's pretty well made.
It's got some nice fall vibes, which I'm sure not a lot of the Scream movies do, because there's a real Southern California thing to.
Where was this? Was this California?
I don't think so.
Where?
I mean, it's a fictional.
Were they in,
but
like-
it didn't feel like.
Were they in like
California.
North Carolina or something?
I don't know.
I did have the thought. I'm like, there's so much talk of Woodsboro for a movie that's not in Woodsboro.
I know, but it still felt like a small town. But again, like, why were there no extras? Like, even when they were in like the town square, like no one's
There's
there.
totally that was curfew.
But it
What'd you
reminds me
think
of the
of-
Masters of the Universe movie where they had no money. So like,
Courtney Cox was also in that.
yeah. So it's like they're Skeletons walking through like a mall with nobody in it, and it's like, what the fuck?
Did you one little nod was you noticed the movie house was playing
Texas Chainsaw?
Were they in Texas? Because the name of the movie house was the Dallas Theater.
Oh, maybe.
And then they were playing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Was that supposed to be a hint that they were in Texas?
I don't know.
That's weird.
This is a very stupid question I'm about to ask. But does Texas experience fall the way we do?
I'm sure that I think they.
I mean, they must get cooler,
Cool,
but
yeah.
do they have like? Do
have
the plants
foliage?
die?
I think so.
We are dumb.
Yeah, we're dumb. That just dawned on me because they didn't say if she was in California or not. They just say she moved away from Woodsboro.
Yeah.
And they do make
But
it
it's
like
like, are you hiding
they
or
make
not
it like
hiding?
it's far away.
Everything's both things. She's famous, but she's not. She's hiding, but she's not. Everyone knows everything about her, but also her daughter doesn't know anything about her, except she does and she doesn't. Like, everything's both ways. It's like two scripts that they push together.
There was a part when I was like, how far are they going to push this Tatum doesn't know anything about Sydney thing? there was a part where she was like, you mentioned in your book Out of Darkness, and then they show a reaction shot of Tatum where I'm like, is Tatum supposed to not know her mother wrote a book?
Yeah, you would have been like 6.
But I feel like that reaction shot is there. Like, oh, what book?
So she knows that there's movies based on her mother, but she doesn't know her mother wrote a book.
Well, they don't say it. But at first, I had that thought of like, is this supposed to indicate that she didn't even know her mother wrote that book?
Well, she didn't know her mother went to college. She seems to know nothing about Scream 2
Well,
somehow.
no, she says, oh, the one semester at Windsor we never talk about. So she did know.
But Stab 3 was based on that,
right.
probably,
and I'm such
right?
a nerd. I turned to you and I was like, oh, Sydney never graduated? That's
You don't
sad.
think she did?
Well, she said unless she transferred. She said the one semester at Windsor.
But I thought of all the semesters at Windsor, there's the one we're going to talk about.
No, I thought she meant, that one semester you did that we don't talk about. Because she said, I haven't seen it since college. And then she's like, oh, the one semester we don't talk about. And I was like, oh, was she only in college for one semester?
She probably graduated.
I hope so.
I think she did.
I can't imagine my Sydney Prescott, not a college graduate.
She is, by the way, talk about cozy. She is living like the cozy white lady dream.
Like,
she lives in a crunchy leaf town.
Yeah.
She's got, I saw the big pumpkin spice on that board. She's running a cafe. In the middle of the day, she could sit at her own cafe and take a break and talk to her neighbor who's clearly the killer. Like, she's having a great old time. So it's funny, you and I have talked at this point endlessly about Scream series. You know what we've never talked about? The Scream TV series.
I've never watched it.
I watched like 2 episodes of it.
Is it in universe?
No.
Not at all? Never gets there?
No. The 3rd season moved from MTV to VH1, and Roger L. Jackson came back, and they used the real mask, whereas the first seasons didn't. The first 2 didn't.
Yeah, they had that weird mask.
But it's not.
It's
kind of like trying to be. It's also not funny. It's trying to be like kind of like Teen Wolfy.
Oh.
Everything about it. I watched a video about it today that was basically like what went wrong here.
I've heard tell that it goes supernatural at one point.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I found out just from watching this video today that the killer in season 3, I was like, oh, she looks so familiar. She's the older sister in the Ted show.
Oh.
Or the cousin that lives with them. I was
That's
like, why
fun.
does this girl look so familiar?
That's fun. You know, every Scream movie since the first one has had a woman killer, but they always say he. You ever think about that?
Guys, it's the 90s.
Yeah,
a woman could be a killer.
No, but literally every one since 1. Oh, no, 3. 3 was just one guy.
Yeah, 3 was just one guy. Is it bad that the killers are just 2 adults in this? I don't know. Something about that strikes me as odd. Like it's none of the kids. It's like none of the friends. It's none of the kids. It's 2 people. Like the neighbor lady, who's like.
Well, it makes sense because this is all about.
And this one weird dude.
This is all about Sydney.
And he was giving.
So they're boomers like her.
Yeah, I guess. But speaking of Ted, wasn't he giving Giovanni Ribisi in Ted?
Yes. Yes. He was. Yeah, we don't learn anything about him.
No.
And then it's like the Carl, menacing guy in the coffee shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
He paid for his coffee at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have. What could they? But this is the thing. Like, what could they have done? Like any new character, it's got to be a new character. So you've got to. I don't know. Even I remember way back in the day, people were mad at 2 for having it be a minor character, and they were like, "That's a cheat." She's only been in 2 scenes.
But that ended up being what they all do.
Yeah, they do.
At least
one is
one
the
of
only one where they're both main characters.
Yeah, at least one of the 2 killers is going to be barely anybody.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think about it. Except for 3. In 4, there's like.
But he's
that
not even.
Culkin.
He's not in it in 3. That much. Roman.
No, it's true.
He's got a couple scenes. That's it.
true. Yeah.
Really,
Mikey Madsen is barely in 5,
Yeah.
but she just stands out because she's such an incredible actress.
Yeah.
She's a great crazy. That's the problem. These 2, like, they were playing crazy, but they weren't
No.
menacing crazy. They were
Mikey
like cuckoo for Cocoa
The
Puffs.
thing with Mikey Madison that just bothers me, and please don't call me misogynist.
Oh, boy,
this is
here we
not
go.
about gender.
Oh, boy.
She's so fucking tiny,
and
that
nothing's.
she picks up Dewey and like throws him across the room and kills him.
Nothing's more egregious than
Emma Roberts.
in Scream
But
4.
I always got the
she's
sense
like 4'2", 10 pounds.
Correct. But I always got the sense in Scream 4 that it was really Culkin doing all of the actual killing and she was just the mastermind.
Oh, maybe. Well, there's also this other thing that's happened in our culture, and it affects the culture of the movies, which is before the big finale where things are revealed, Ghostface is like a character.
Right.
Even the way Ghostface talks, and this is not just this movie, this is all the sequels, Ghostface will talk like he has the memories of every other Ghostface.
Yeah.
Like, it's me again.
Right.
Like, I know what I said to someone else. And, like, even in 5, when he calls Gail, he's like, you know, I've never talked on the phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, who's I in this situation?
Yeah, it is weird. It's like a collective.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird.
Although this time around, it seemed like he was saying that because he was like trying to convince her he was Stu.
Right.
Which, okay, there's the other thing.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways because he's calling on the phone as Roger L. Jackson, but then just sending her videos as Stu, being Stu.
Right.
And being like, it's me. I'm the killer.
Right.
So just call her as Stu.
Wouldn't it have been more effective if it was just Stu's voice? Like, I remember one early rumor was that, like, wasn't that you were going to see things, but you were going to hear different killers' voices instead of using just Roger L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Because remember 3 had that weird conceit where they could
change voices.
Sometimes he would just use other people's voices.
He also at one point had like a voice changer in his mask. Starting in 2, remember? When he was like,
yeah.
She's like, where are you? And he's like, here behind
2,
her.
3, 4, 2, 3, and 4, there was always a technological advance.
Yeah.
I don't think 5 does that.
Well, 7 does it with AI.
Yeah. 2 was a big reveal when he speaks just as the killer, like in his mask.
It's in his mask.
You're like, whoa, he's not on the phone. Yeah, it is like Ghostface is.
There's kind of something kind of anticlimactic about the fact that they're getting these videos with a well-lit Matthew Lillard being like, it's me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It should have been any videos.
Right.
It should have been, like. The voice. It should have just been voices.
It could have been like she gets a call from Stu, then she gets a call from Dewey, then she gets a call from Laurie Metcalf. It's like that would have been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because every Scream movie is like, who is it? Where this one's like, I'm telling you who I am. I'm Stu, and I'm outside. You're doing this. And it's like, so why are you even wearing the mask then if you're you? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, is the audience... And it plays us for a fool because it feels like there are times where they're like, no, it can't be Stu. But then there's times where like, well, maybe it is Stu.
Yeah.
Like, it's like it knows it's a stupid premise that it's trying to pull on us.
Because then at the end, they're like, no, that's dumb.
So
even the killers are like, it's stupid.
Why are we even playing with it? I mean, they should have really done it. I think there's a way to do it better where you really make some good argument for why he could be alive. And where it would make sense, and you don't show his face, you just hear some things, like you don't make it so obvious. Because it's so obvious, you're like, well, it can't be.
And what's all that stuff about like the records of him being dead are gone? Did they do that?
I guess.
Because then Sydney's like, oh, somebody might have stole him to make us think he's really still alive. There's such an elaborate story of like he had amnesia, he was a wanderer,
right?
He got picked up,
right?
Like it almost is like, wow, this could be real,
right?
Especially because it was really funny in the beginning when the first kill characters listen to the podcast and they're like, Stu was confirmed at a party. He was seen at a party on Windsor the following year at Windsor College because Matthew Lillard is in the background of Scream 2 in
so
a cameo.
It's a fun thing, like he was seen there. Yeah.
This thing of like, where did this thing of like Stu never really die just come from the internet?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because there was no question of whether Stu was alive or dead until like 5. And then it's just like every movie's added to the lore of like, maybe Stu's still alive.
6 is the first movie that says it. But fans have been talking about it for a while.
No, I think in 5, somebody's like, if you believe he's dead.
No, that's 6.
Oh, that's 6?
Yeah. No, 5 doesn't mention it, but now I don't know if this is true, but because it's not in that book we read, but supposedly there was a version of 3 where he was going to be there with Roman.
Yeah. But even 5 they go back to Stu's house.
Right.
I guess because that's where
It is interesting because the last 2 are so Billy-centric with his daughter, and you even saw Skeet Ulrich in those as like a Force ghost.
Yeah, that was...
But he's not in this at all.
And he's not really mentioned either.
No.
One line, you might have been in the bathroom for this. At one point, Tatum says, because she's saying like she doesn't trust Ben, and Tatum's like, not everybody's Billy Loomis. And I think that's the only time he's even mentioned.
It's interesting.
Although, oh no, and then Chad calls the boyfriend Gen Z Billy Loomis.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. Well, he was an adult man with blonde hair.
They're filled with sin.
You can't trust those people.
Yeah, I'm excited to think on this, read about it, maybe see it again, and really let it settle into the psyche.
Where's it going to settle? Is it going to be... I feel like the big argument online is it the worst, or is 3 still the reigning worst?
You know, it's funny. I keep thinking about like my reactions to the other ones recently, and I remember seeing 5 and afterwards being like, I don't know. And then now, like, I still feel that way about 5. Like, I don't think 5's great. I think 4 is better than 5.
4 is
But
better
I
than 5.
remember when we saw 4 being like, that was kind of disappointing. But now in hindsight, being like, 4's great.
Yeah, I was disappointed by 4, but also I had gotten high too early in the day. Like I should have gotten high right before the movie, but I got high like right after work, so like I was kind of coming down halfway through. So, you know, it fucks it up. But no, 4 is
aged well.
Well, you know what? It's the last one directed by a good director. It's the last one not that Radio Silence.
When was the last time you saw 4?
Radio's like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I love that 4 has like the Sybil Shepherd Vaseline smear on the lens the entire movie. Did you notice that?
Yeah. It's the last film by Wes Craven, who's the best. Not to say anything bad about Radio Silence. I love Ready or Not, and I love
and Scream's
Abigail.
5 is, I think 5 is okay, and I think 6 is good. I remember leaving 6 being like, wow, that was so much better than it had any right to be. For a 6th movie.
So forget about comparing this one to 3. If we just look at the last 3, 5, 6, and 7, this is absolutely the worst. This is not better than any of the ones with Jenna Ortega or Melissa Barrera.
No, but not by much. I don't think it's much worse than 5.
I think you need to rewatch 5. 5 is not that bad.
I don't think it's bad.
5, the problem with 5 is it feels too much like it's trying to do the same thing as 4.
Yeah.
But 5's not bad. The characters are good. I like the killer in it. I like 5 a lot.
The last, like in October, I watched 1 through 5 again. Mm-hmm. And I still was like, 5's okay.
There's a very strong, and I'm seeing this a lot online, there's a huge 2 worship. Like people have been ranking, you know, horror fans are like this. People doing a lot of rankings lately.
And they put 2 in the top spot.
Some people putting 2 before 1. And I when I was like 15, I probably would have said that. But
it's
I
the
don't
best
know.
critically reviewed.
I have them all here.
It has the Rotten Tomatoes
somehow it got
is
a better
83.
review. Yeah.
But, you know, I had that same thought. Yeah, this last Halloween, I watched 1 through 5. And I was going to watch 6, but then I was just like, I moved on with my life because I was like, all right, I need a break. And I had the experience of watching 2 and being like, this is uneven.
Yeah, it's 2.
It felt rushed.
But some people love it.
Yeah, they think it's better than 1.
Some people love it. Yes, I've got them all right here. The original Scream is 78% on Rotten Tomatoes. Scream 2 is 83. Scream 3 is 45, which is the only other rotten one. Scream 7 is 42.
No, now Scream 7 is 34.
Oh my goodness.
It's gone down from there.
Oh my
But
goodness.
Scream 7 has a pretty high audience score.
Well, of course it does. Also, let again, to compare it to Star Wars, right? Like, this is the 7th movie in a series. Like, what right does it have to be to good at all?
I mean, look, the audience score is 78.
Yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, again, it's
audience
not bad.
Scores are always bigger.
Yeah, it's not bad. I don't think there's been, there hasn't been one Scream yet where I've been like, that was awful.
This one was close for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
The end really...
Maybe if I see it again, I'll feel that way.
It was all a fine movie until the end. The end was so muddled and disappointing. I was like, huh. Like I knew it was going to be the neighbor, but like, it's like, okay, but why? Who is she? Or what's her motive? Maybe she's not related to anybody, but maybe she just has a good motive.
What? I'm trying to think, like what would have been a better motive?
I don't know. Part of me was like, maybe it's like Hot Fuzz. Like maybe like their little town. She wants their little town to be famous. I don't know. I was thinking all sorts of things.
And there's no, the fact that the two motives don't, the other guy doesn't really have a motive.
No.
Other than just, I like to kill people, I guess. I don't know.
And the first guy
was just a killer.
Yeah. But they must have set him on his way. They must have said, put on this mask and stuff. That's why I was like, oh, they doing the cult thing. But that's the thing. It is. It's
should-
like 5 different ideas that Kevin Williamson had over the years.
It would have
put
been-
them all together.
It would have been cool if they were like, we're just big Stu worshippers,
And, like,
Stu deserves his due.
Yeah, and everybody, like, there was 7 killers, and it was all just random people we've seen throughout the movie, and it's like, we worship Stu.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Yeah.
And it would have been like Stu, because it would also go with the, like, we're making a real life movie thing, and it's like, in this one, Stu gets his due finally.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Because even in the beginning, they're like, he's like, I'm a stew head. And doesn't she say something like, oh, something about second bananas or something?
Yeah, something like
they
that.
make jokes about the fact that Stu's the sidekick.
Yeah.
So it would have been like a great time to be like, oh, we worship Stu.
Yeah. I'm trying to think I had a thought a second ago, but I've lost it. So I think if there's any more meat to pick on this bone. I mean, we will think about things as time goes on, and it'll just be another Scream movie.
Yeah.
Of the many. I'd be okay with it stopping now.
Yeah, me too. I had the thought, what if Scream 5 and 6 didn't exist, and this was just like a sequel to 4, would we like it better?
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like,
and
compared
also
to
if we
the
had that
heights
nice
of
time
6,
off, if we had a nice, like, 10 so years off, or more than that.
well, that's the thing. 1, 2, and 3 came out in quick succession. Then there was 10 years, and then 4.
Yeah,
and then
4
like
was
another
like
10 years,
yeah.
and then 5, 6, 7. 4 is like the only one that's like some time has passed.
Yeah.
And then in 5, again, they're like, oh, some time has passed. Everything else has been in real quick succession.
Yeah.
Maybe give it put it on ice. And I won't, because it's going to make a ton of money.
No, of course not. They already said they were planning on 8.
But like as a direct continuation of this one, there's no thread
No,
left.
exactly.
Like, then leave it, then make it a cliffhanger if you're going to do that.
It feels like every time there was an idea to do something really different, it was always like down the road. Like, oh, 4 will lead to Jill is the protagonist, even though she was the killer in the last one, and they never got there.
Right.
And then the exact same idea was going to be with Melissa Barrera. Maybe she's a killer. She accepts her, like, murderous, bloodlust or whatever. Like, go ahead and just do the weird thing. Like look at how, like, we seem to glom onto anything slightly different.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead and just make a fucking crazy one. Like, just make it 900 killers or no killers, or fucking Gale's the killer, or it's an alien from another planet. Like,
I wonder if Gale being the killer thing, if they ever...
It feels like that time has passed.
Well, I was also going to say, did you see the new I Still Know What You Did, the new I Know What You Did last summer?
No, but I know what happens.
It's Ray.
Which is,
they had
smart.
But apparently, like, the audience had a really negative reaction to it being Ray.
Right.
So now they're
meaning
like...
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah. So now the Scream's probably like, oh, we can't do that. We can't make one of the legacy characters the killer.
That's...
I think it's... I didn't see it, but I think it's... that movie seemed like it sucked, but it seems like the most clever thing out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, before we wrap up, let's talk just for a moment about slasher, the state of slashers in general. So we've got In a Violent Nature from a few years ago. They're making a second one. A lot of people like that. I didn't love it. That was the one that was like a Jason movie from the point of view of Jason.
I didn't see it, but yeah.
Hard Eyes, I liked. Hard Eyes feels like it's very much in the Scream oeuvre.
With with that Dreamboat Mason Gooding.
Yeah, I actually liked Hard Eyes a lot. I liked Total Killer with that was a straight to Amazon movie. That was the one that's like Back to the Future and a slasher. She goes back in time. It was what's her name? The one from Mad Men and Sabrina, the Teenage Witch.
Oh, Kiernan Shipka?
Yeah, she goes back in time and she's like hanging out with her mother in the past, and it's a slasher movie. And that movie. The thing that sticks out of my movie is there's a moment where they're trying to figure out who the killer is, and Kiernan Shipka goes, maybe it's a Scream. Maybe there's 2 killers.
Oh, that's fun.
Which is in some ways like what you have to do. Like how could you keep being Scream? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Is Hard Eyes a whodunit?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
I feel like I haven't seen any new slashers in a while. Supernatural horror has made a real comeback.
Sure, yeah.
right? Like with like, I just saw weapons and long legs, and
Did you see Happy Death Day?
no,
I didn't love it, but the director of it was the original director of Seven, when it was going to be Melissa Barrera and Jen Ortega.
okay,
But he wasn't a new direction. He was going under the other guys,
okay.
who are nominally still the producers of this version of Seven.
So these guys were going to leave anyway. They were not going to do Seven anyway. Radio Silence.
They had more involvement. They just weren't going to direct it.
I wonder what they
Now
think of
they're
this.
just in name only. I think producers.
I guess they're collecting money off this, so they can't publicly criticize it.
yeah.
If they're
Probably.
executive producers, they're getting a paycheck.
X and Pearl.
Oh yeah,
Those are good.
yes. I saw those.
And what's the last one? Maxine was good. Actually, I don't like X that much. I think Pearl's like a masterpiece, and
I
Maxine
like
is
X.
just a lot of fun. Tragedy Girls, we've done that on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any of the Terrifier movies.
No, there's like that Black Phone series.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I mean, that's the thing. Slashers are in their own right formulaic. But to keep doing Scream movies, I don't know. I don't think there's much more to do. But as long as they keep making Scream movies, we'll keep doing episodes on them.
Have you seen recently? Sorry, last thought. Like interviews from when they're making Scream 3,
No.
and every cast member being like, "This is it. We don't want to make a Scream 4 or 5, 6, 7."
That would be fucking ridiculous.
But literally,
Yeah.
they're all saying Nev Campbell, Wes Craven, Courtney Cox. They're all like, "This is ridiculous. Like, we can't do more than 3."
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Literally, Nev Campbell says, "We don't want there to be a Scream 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be ridiculous."
Nev Campbell's like, I got this bad habit. I like to eat every day, and I like electricity.
Well, I also saw her recently because she's been doing the rounds of like interviews, and she was like, I really didn't want to be a big part of 3 because I was worried that what I was going to do for my career. But she's like, but now I'm like, you know what? These are great for my career. These are wonderful. And I'm like, wow, you're just like, I need a paycheck, honey.
Yeah, the time, the new direction is not happening. So this is what we're doing.
Yeah,
This is what we're
she had a
doing.
minute. She was in some stuff, I guess.
Yeah, she was in that Rock movie.
What movie?
With The Rock. She was in that. Remember you and I saw some movie with The Rock? She
the
was The Rock.
Towering like Inferno remake or whatever.
She was in that.
Wasn't she in some ballet movie or
Something or other.
she was? Hey, listen, she got paid $7 million to be in this one.
Can I say she still looks great?
She looks great. She's fantastic.
Still-
And I really liked when she walked in that scene and was like, "How you doing over there, Ben?"
Yeah,
That was fun.
Yeah. I liked moments where she didn't seem like I'm this tragic character. Like
Yeah.
she was just a normal person in a normal life.
Right.
All right. I can't talk about this for another more second. Anthony, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
PCMC, we come out every Wednesday, but we're all over.
We're all over the place.
We're all over the place at PCMC Pod on Instagram. Check us out over there. And I think I'm also on Threads. I think
We're on.
I'm on a lot of the stuff. Truth Social. Check me out there.
Oh my god.
Are
Are you on the Blueski?
Yes, I think I am. Am I PCMC on that? I don't know, but we're on stuff. This has been PCMC. We end the episode by saying,
Go bye bye.